Now, you've had already a busy 2014. You had a busy 2013. Here, June 14th, you're going to be taking on Alberto Morales. Do you feel like this is a step up in competition for you at this point?
Absolutely. With his record being 11-3, and if you look at the guys that he lost to, everybody he lost to, had a good, solid record. So it isn't like he's losing to quote unquote ducks. So it's definitely a step up in competition. That's what we look to do. Every fight, we look to step up.
Yeah, and he does have almost double the amount of fights of you. Do you kind of see that as being maybe his being maybe a disadvantage for you, him being a little bit more experienced, or is this something you're now preparing yourself more and more here as time goes on?
With my amateur experience, I really don't feel as though he has too much more experience. Of course, now in the pro game, it's a lot different, but I look at it, as any other fight. I just train a lot harder, train harder to look more impressive.
Right on. Now, hearing your early scouting of Morales, what have you seen about him that you either have been impressed by or think you can take advantage of, without giving too much away, obviously, here for the fight?
Right. Well, he's a taller guy, standing at 5'9". So, of course, he has longer arms than me, which I'm pretty much used to. But I think that's something, that he's going to try to exploit his arm reach and his height advantage. But I look to, counter off my defense because he isn't the fastest opponent that I face. So I look to counter off my defense and go from there.
Right on. Now, this is a big deal. You're going to be fighting in Atlantic City. This is going to be the first time, fighting away from pretty much your hometown area. I mean, any jitters or excitement about fighting in Atlantic City?
I'm excited for the opportunity. Other than that, it's, business as usual because, like I said, with my amateur experience, I pretty much didn't get to fight at home. So I made my home on the road, So that's pretty much how I'm looking at this fight. It is a bigger stage with it being a top-ranked card. So that's kind of like the only thing that I'm excited about. But as far as me traveling, I have no problem at all traveling.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, is this something with all your fights, like I said, being in the Washington, Fort Washington, Maryland area, is this something now that you want to definitely, maybe towards the back half of this year, try to fight more, maybe along the East Coast and start building that buzz in other markets and being a part of other cards as well?
Of course. I think the buzz, my name is starting to buzz a lot with the top promoters, so I feel as though opportunities will definitely present themselves for me to expand outside of the DMV, the East Coast, even on the West Coast. I think my opportunity is coming real soon.
Well, and that honestly leads me here to my next question. Are you currently, you're still unsigned, you're not underneath a promotional banner at this time, correct?
Yeah.
Now, as a young fighter, is it something that you may want to try to continue to stay independent as long as you can? Or are you looking to kind of latch on with some of the bigger, the bigger name organizations or bigger name managers per se? Is that something that you're openly seeking, or you're just going to kind of let that, go with the flow?
No, I'm openly thinking, to have that security blanket of a big time promoter, because like I said, it's a security blanket. I know I'll be getting the correct exposure. Even though I'm happy with the exposure that I'm getting now, I think it's always good to expand. And I think I'm at the point in my career where I need to expand, and it's definitely coming. Like I said, we're getting multiple calls from different promoters, and after every fight, the bigger the promoter gets. And that was the plan all along, go the unsigned route until basically I couldn't be moved, and I was pretty much forced to sign with a top promoter.
Now, is that something that you're looking to possibly do here after this bout, or you're still going to kind of take a few more fights, field a few more offers, and just kind of see towards the tail end of the year who's got the best deal for you?
Well, there's no timetable on it. Me and my team, we're definitely open to any offers, we'll definitely look over a contract because it won't help. Only thing you can do, it won't hurt. Only thing that it can do is help. So we're definitely looking. We're accepting contracts, but it's no direct timetable. If a contract is on the table after this fight and it looks good, then we'll sign it. If it's not, then we'll go back to the drawing board and continue to do what we're doing right now.
Now, like I said, you've been an extremely busy fighter. I mean, at this rate, say this time next year, where do you kind of see what do you want to be challenging for? Because your buzz is starting to build to where it's not just people knew you as an amateur who's turned pro. Now the buzz is kind of built like, okay, Mike Reed is going to be one of those prospects we need to keep an eye on. So that buzz is starting to grow. Where do you kind of do you look that far out? As towards the end of this year, maybe this time next year, where you want to be and what you want to be challenging for?
Of course. I believe this time next year, me having around 14 to 16 fights, I think that'll be a good pace. So that'll put me at fighting every other month. 15 fights, and for me to be a top contender, not just a prospect anymore, a top contender, having TV times, being signed with a top promoter. That's kind of the route that I would like to have at this time next year.
Now, when you look at the division you're in here, you're fighting here at light welterweight and lightweight. Do you see yourself, challenging for one of the minor belts this time next year, or would that be something you'd even want before the year's out?
Of course. That's kind of how you build. You start with the minor belts, and then you work your way up. The minor belts push you in the top 25 of the bigger conferences, or the bigger organizations, and that'll put you on line for a title shot. And I feel as though next year around this time, I'll pretty much be ready for an inside belt or a minor belt, looking to make the next step into a major belt.
Well, right on. Well, cool. Well, again, you're going to be fighting here June 14th, Atlantic City. That card's going to be broadcast on Udamos. You're going to be, looking to go 10-0. We wish you the best of luck. We appreciate you taking our time talking with us here for TheTitleFight.com, Mike.
All right, no problem. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
All right, man. God bless and best of luck here on June 14th, all right?
All right, same to you. Take it easy.
All right.